Hi. Welcome to the Division. Welcome to the Division.
I'm straight from the underground. Don't call me a hunter because I'm just a brown agent who's just having a good time.
Did you just say a brown agent?
I don't know. I know I said that backward. I'm sorry. I fucked up again.
We wanted to discuss some things regarding the first DLC of the Division, the Underground. And
It's pretty good.
Yeah, and with its latest patch of 1.8, made it even better.
Much better.
Much better. And it was only like a simple change, wasn't it, Alex?
Yep.
Anyway, so how did you like the we're gonna get right into this. So how did you overall, like, your general thoughts on the Underground?
I think it's good, but its main draw is its randomized room situation. It's kind of low on the room rotation. If you play it like 10 times, you're already going to see all the rooms, and then it's just going to be in a different order.
Well, that kind of like adds to its replayability, I find it to be.
Yeah, but even if it's just randomized, you're still going to see it's the same hallway connected to it, maybe a different lunchroom, but you've seen it somewhere else.
Okay, I can see where you're coming from. But I can kind of see it, like, it's kind of like made for that small replayability. Maybe they're not expecting you to play it 80 billion times in one day. I have no idea. I'm just like we do.
Yeah, there's good reason though. There's very good reason.
I can see why. Like, plus I'm pretty sure making these rooms wasn't easy, or getting the AI to actually put them together every single time you spawn.
Good point.
Because the map changes even when you respawn. If you die, it's a different place, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
So I wanted to also take a time to talk about the factions, as like them roaming around in the underground with you, so you're not actually alone down there in the underbelly of New York City.
Yeah.
And I would like to say that for the most part, most of the factions work pretty well in these close quarters situations.
Other than the riders, not so much with them.
Yeah, like they're easy no matter what you put them in.
Yeah.
I do like the better difficulties. However, like even this DLC does not fix the difficulties problem. And what I mean by that is the developers, or maybe that's just a flaw of this game overall, of thinking that higher difficulty equals bigger bullet sponge.
Yeah, good point.
And it gets more and more apparent when you get onto the higher difficulty levels.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the factions?
I think the factions are pretty good. I kind of wish that it added a little bit more than just fighting the same guys over and over again. Hoping there was a little bit more variation to them.
There come those times, like, well, I usually play on the hard difficulty, probably because it's quick. And like they do have the option to make them go 3 times as long, which means more rooms and more items to find. And I find that they actually blend the map as you progress, like each of the layers pretty well. Like there's only like a standard maybe 1 or 2 times where it feels like, why would you build this? Like it doesn't seem very safe.
Good point.
And what about the you know those little traps that they do between rooms, like they have those little like electric traps, fire traps, stuff like that.
Yeah, but I agree those are interesting, but at the same time they're not used effectively. If those were in the middle of a fight somehow, and you had to work around that. Yeah, that'd be cool. But
they do have like blind traps and also the alarms, which enemies can turn, as in enemies will infinitely spawn until you destroy it or turn it off.
Yeah, I like that, but with the like. Room's on fire, so you gotta hop over this certain area to get across. I'm like, it's cool, but I feel like it's such an easy thing. It's like, if you understand what you're doing, you just avoid it with no prior thought.
Okay, I get it. And I want to talk about, speaking of the map, even though like it's pretty close quarters, do you find that any of the factions really become any more difficult because of that?
Only the Rikers and the PMCs.
Well, because the PM, well, I think the PMP become more deadly knowing that their medics can put down support stations.
Yeah, they could do that before, but
now that since they're cramped together, they can all crowd around it.
yeah, and also due to the fact that both Rikers and PMC have shotgun-based classes, which will basically fuck cover. I'm just gonna run up them and shoot them in the face, kind of thing. And it's really hard to dodge them.
And if there's multiple medics in one room, I find it kind of hard to be either if you're playing alone, it's kind of difficult to try to, unless you destroy the support station, to try to gang up and overwhelm them. Because basically, if you don't have like more than one damage source, it's pretty hard for you to out damage that healing station. Because they even regenerate their armor somehow. I don't know how that makes any sense, but I don't care.
Yeah, good point.
But if you have like a team of like 4, like you can easily overwhelm them.
Yeah.
But what I find the most annoying is surprisingly, it's not even the cleaners, knowing that they're a close range faction in the first place. Come to think of it, they seem pretty easy. And I'm not saying
just overall.
Like overall, I say are they easier than in the vanilla world? Not really. They're pretty much.
No, I think they're basically the same.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, cleaners. You'll always be easy in our hearts. You'll always be somewhat of a challenge in our hearts.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get a buff one day.
Probably not.
Probably not, no. Alright, so that also reminds me. The shield users.
Oh, you talking about the heavy boss?
Yes, and they are more annoying than the freaking Riker LMG bosses that you had to come across.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I understand, like, they can't do much damage to you, so which means that technically, and also like their aim can suck depending on how far away he is from you. So technically, if you two are standing the other ends of the map, he can't hit you, but you can't hit him.
Very good point.
And also when he mounts his gun, it's that's when he becomes kind of easy, because when you can flank him. Like that's the only way you can properly flank him, unless you're trying to get him on the move. But then if you back him up into a corner, there's no possible way you can get behind him.
True, it's even worse if there's like 3 of them.
Yeah, you have to rely on it.
Hallway.
You have to rely on him like getting his LMG out when he's shooting his arms.
Yeah.
Well, you can stun lock him. So there's that. Yeah, but like the heavies, he's technically a heavy, so he can kick the freaking turrets. So there's that. But I guess like you do have fire around your incendiary grenades, and they do become more useful because of the close quarters nature of this mode.
Yeah.
And what about the new loot that was introduced? As in like the new loot that you can get off of dropped enemies.
Very good. I think the underground is used primarily towards farming for good gear, which it gives you pretty readily.
Okay.
Like, if I'm being honest, the name bosses, before you finish a mission, gives you more loot than the end of dungeon chest. If I'm being honest.
It kind of feels like the underground is kind of like those Minecraft caves. You explore them and then fight enemies your way there. It technically light it up. I don't know. It just feels like I kind of like it for that. It kind of feels like these like rooms and dungeons you just gotta fight your way through, and it kind of makes sense knowing that there's probably a labyrinth of tunnels underground New York literally under New York City. I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
Okay, but no, there is one more thing that I really liked when we first got this expansion. The starter mission.
I like that.
It was a really good transition, and it kind of justifies why you go into the underground. And also, I really enjoyed how it just kicked things up. I kind of had a feeling of getting amped up, and I really wanted to fight the Rikers. It kind of felt really cool just to have that opening wave come out while everyone's intimidated, everyone's screaming, saying Rikers incoming. It sounds like it makes you feel like an actual threat is coming, and just something that kind of puts you on your toes because you have not seen that yet, even though you have seen explosions before. But I found it pretty nice change of pace, at least for me. Were you gonna say something? I don't know what you're gonna say.
No. I thought you were gonna go to the other subject, but
no.
Any mission's definitely a good starter, if I'm being honest.
Okay, so I also wanted to talk about the new directives and even the new ones that got added within the latest patch.
Yeah, I like those the most because those actually provide gameplay changes or
even though you can abuse other abilities to try to get past them, like the shock ammo and stuff like that.
Yeah, but at the same time, you have to go out of your way to do it. It's not like something if you keep switching weapons or I don't know. I feel like it's something you got to keep in mind instead of just shoot gun and not overheat.
Okay, and I don't know about you, but I usually don't use directives because either one, I don't see a difference, or I just don't feel like using them. I don't know about you.
I haven't unlocked all of them, so I don't really know. I really want to see what happens if you use all of them at the same time.
Speaking of unlocks, like, this mode uses an alternate leveling system, as in, much like the Dark Zone, if you enter this area, you can level up for that area only. Which I don't really know what that rank exactly gives you, besides more directives, but I don't know, but maybe that's the whole point.
They keep it separate so it has its own progression system without being tied to the main game. Because then that would require more coding.
Oh yeah, I guess like they're killing two to three birds with one stone with only one line of code.
Yep. Because if they keep them separate, they no longer have to mesh them in together, and then that might cause issues for people who don't have the DLC, so on and so forth.
Oh yeah. And technically, you don't really have to do the underground. Like that's
no.
Well, like who we can. It's an expansion, so who we can. It's an expansion, so of course it's not going to actually affect you, whether you do or do not have the story, or have the expansion.
Bungie would like to disagree with that statement.
Oh yeah, because they had an unfinished campaign when they released their expansions.
No. In the new game, I was following this. They released the DLC for Destiny 2, and it basically, for the first week of the DLC, it locked all other players who didn't have the DLC to like weekly missions because due to the fact that it now involved the loot pool from Curse of Osiris. So basically, it locked some people from playing PvP. It was
so basically
atrocious.
Pretty much not forking over the money pretty much prevents you from having any sort of fun outside of PvE combat.
Yeah. And the hard version of like the raid you could no longer do due to the fact that it I forget what happened, but it was like some sort of logical reason, but at the same time it was like stupid because like if you didn't do now, if you want to do the hard version of I don't know, it was like really stupid.
Okay.
You can look it up.
I can look it up.
I can look it up right now, but I won't.
No, don't do it. Don't.
Okay.
Don't do it. Hey, wait, should I use my only lockpick on this door? Don't do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. Okay, so speaking of, like, wait a minute. I have a legitimate question. Okay, this is a what-if statement, because I don't think it would necessarily work really that good. But, like, what if, like, there was, like, a separate part of the underground that had a, it was kind of like the Dark Zone, except it acted more like it's a PvP area, but you don't, like, pretty much you just go in there just to fight other people in AI. Maybe just them, and, like, every time you spawn in or go into that area, it's random each time, and like kind of like loops around or something.
So you're thinking like an area that basically puts you in, and then you can go anywhere you want, fight some people, then leave and come back into a different location.
Kind of. Like, I don't think AI would work in there, knowing that if you're just gonna fight other players, they can probably just abuse the AI, and that's not really fun.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how that would work. That's just a what-if statement that I'm just talking out loud here. But, okay. But there is one thing. The single change that pretty much pushed me and you over the line to buy this DLC.
Checkpoints. I mean, they are really necessary if you want to play solo, because previously you couldn't do it. Once you died in the underground, you had to restart, and then basically you couldn't save your progress. But now
That's not what I was talking about!
My point exactly, Zach. It's comedy.
Oh my god.
I mean, the checkpoints are really useful, because then you no longer have to reset all your progress.
God, I'm so freaking done.
Alright.
Scraps.
What are you actually doing?
Scraps video right here.
Alright, we're done.
The one change that made me, I don't know about you, but want to buy this DLC was the addition of the hunters. And they're just as terrifying as they are in survival. Like those hunters that you knew in survival, just throw them out the window because you guys are here now.
Yep, they're harder.
Yeah,
they don't have an armor bar, so that makes them a little bit harder.
Actually, wait, that's why I checked. They didn't have an armor bar.
Yeah, they don't have an armor bar. Means that like assault rifles are no longer useful against them because it's one bonus.
Oh
so,
yeah.
Basically, all their armor being converted to health.
And Alex, I wanted to talk to you. Like, these guys do not mess around. They are vicious, and even more so. In fact, the closer, you would think that since you have all your gear, you would be able to fight back. You would stand a lot more of a chance between them when combating them.
No.
You would be wrong, because they are prepared. They are expecting.
Do not get close to them.
They are practically the equivalent of a supervillain. You're like, you did what I planned all along. I was prepared all along. And what I mean by this is, they are pretty strong. And like you said, do not get into their melee range.
Yeah.
Because they will one-shot you. Except if you're playing solo, because then they'll like 2 to 3 shot you with that axe.
Yep. Also, one thing to note, when hunters do spawn, they'll spawn one more than players currently present. Basically, if there's 3 people, 4 hunters will spawn. 1 person, 2 hunters. 2 people, 3 hunters.
And,
so on and so forth.
And I can say, like, even for a solo player, if you know what you're doing, you're gonna be just fine. Like, they're not gonna be too overly aids to you. Like, they're not gonna be unfair.
Yeah.
But the one thing that makes these hunters stand out, not only because of their health, is their ability to rush you. It's like these hunters are coordinating. They push with each other. They ambush.
Will heal each other. Like, I think in the recording, if you see it, if you pause at the right moment, one of them uses a first aid on the other hunter who is pushing. It is terrifying because of the fact they have that coordination.
They will rush, they will roll, they will push together, they will flank. Because it actually happened in the recording, they managed to flank me. And I wasn't paying attention. And not only that, but if you're playing a 4-man team, if you guys don't really have the necessary equipment nor the firepower to out-damage their healing abilities, there's no way you can probably, without any proper coordination, you can properly overwhelm them. Because the chances are... Oh yeah, there's that. You can stun them, but they do have healing, they do have support and first aid, and I'm guessing even with a full-man team, at least one of them will have support station and first aid.
Zach, you know what I kind of wish the hunters could do?
What?
They could revive each other.
Oh, please, no.
It's like, I'm going after this hunter. Oh, wait, they just revive the other one. Fuck.
He takes off his mask and it's like Austin's face under it. Oh no, Austin, it was you all along. I wanted your badge, bitch. I wanted your watch.
I broke my Fitbit. I need a new one.
I broke my Rolex. I need yours now. And even though hunters were made to be unpredictable in the underground, there is some ways you can predict them. Like you can be prepared for them because they will only spawn after you clear a room. Hear that, Alex?
Yep.
Hunters will only spawn if after you clear a room. But the only difference is, I bet you're wondering, like, does that mean that they'll spawn every time you clear a room? No, they will not. It's random.
Totally random.
And usually it could take, like, the maximum it took me is like about 5 games with like non-stop without encountering a hunter. But I bet you're saying, like, oh well, I'll just like pop out and kill you automatically. You don't know when they're coming. Actually, no. It actually gives you a little bit of a warning.
Due to the fact that they the smoke grenades and the disruption.
And the noticeably identifiable sound they make. So now we know how to prepare against hunters, but there's still one problem. The fact that they're still random. You can plan all you want, but you'll still have to learn to think on your feet. Why? It's because
due to the fact that there's multiple room setups too.
Yes, like so usually if you fight, even though they're random, like you can expect like a hunter to you can fight a hunter, you beat them, and then the next game there won't be. They can still spawn. They can still ambush you. Yeah. As in, we even have some. Even
the hunter spawns in 2 matches right after each other.
Yeah, literally, we even have footage here. Hunters ambushed us, and we were not ready. And they were coming in with fear, with some anger. Like they wanted some revenge.
They were real angry boys.
But the one that I bet you're wondering. So what's the reward for killing these random hunters? Is the reward good enough? And I tell you, boyo, yes it is. It's worth killing these guys.
Yes and no. Is a chance to drop an exotic.
Yes, they can drop exotics. Which I have actually gotten 2 exotics from the hunters. I've gotten one from a random boss, so there's that.
2. Never mind. Sorry, I'm going off track now.
And these hunters do mess around, and I really love them for this. Like just like that, you know, like you have like a sudden paranoia, like you're just waiting to see if they'll spawn or not. I really like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a gamble. It's like, are they gonna find you? Are they gonna find you? No. Yes.
And they still are we sure that they still have the medkit cap, or is that no longer a thing?
As far as I could tell, they still have the medkit cap.
Okay. Because I couldn't really tell, because they never really had to heal themselves due to the fact that they had support stations. So.
Anyway, so I think we've talked enough about the hunter. I think we gave him a glorious time to shine.
Yeah. His dick is now dry.
Because we read it so much.
Yeah, there we go.
Even though the underground is supposed to be this dirty, filthy underbelly of New York City, it still looks pretty nice at some points.
Yeah.
Alright. Freaking, out of nowhere, you could be in the dirty, disgusting sewers and then, climb up a freaking ladder and boom. Alex, just hear me out here. Sweet rave party!
Yeah, they did add that. They add that room to the map rotation, so I think you can see it.
Really?
Yeah.
So you can wait. I've only had the rave area only maybe twice, and that's I have it seems to be very rare. Can you even get it? I've only gotten it in certain times, when I had a mission to do.
Previously, it was only available during that one mission, but in the most recent update, 1.8, it basically said Rave Room added to from the end of 9 mission is now added to map rotation.
Oh,
so
it was?
We'll be able to find it.
Oh, like it seems to be very rare to find it too.
It is very rare, and I don't know if that was done on purpose.
The music's pretty catchy, even though it's
Yes.
like a couple notes. So pretty much all of a sudden, sweet rave party.
Fight the hunters in that room.
Ooh.
You get footage of that. I'd like you to record that, please and thank you. Yeah, just call it like what's that Call of Duty Zombies thing that you keep referencing every single
Rave in
time?
the Redwoods.
Yeah, just make a reference to that, like hunters in the brave woods or
Hey Alex.
I don't know.
Let's just take a moment of silence to enjoy the sweet rave party.
This is pretty long.
Just roll it. Don't worry, we're still dancing.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna jerk off to this later. And we're done. Okay.
Alright, let me just clean up that mess. Oh yeah, there we go.
Did you just clean up your freaking stains from the rave floor? I'm freaking done.
Why do you think my mom bought a black light?
Anyway, if you're gonna buy like 1 or 2 DLC of the Division, I do recommend Survival on the Underground.
Okay, Last Stand is AIDS. Do not buy it. Please don't. Take your money. Don't buy it.
I give this one a 1 out of. If I had to rate the Underground, it would probably be like from like 1 being the worst and 10 being the best. I'd give it a pretty strong I'd say about around an 8.
Yeah. I think if they make a Division 2 and they have some type of underground mode in Division 2, I think that'd be really nice. On release, not as fucking DLC.
Actually, I've still seen like articles and stuff saying that the Underground should have been free.
Eh.
And I wonder if, do you think they like Survival? Did they do anything differently that justifies
Yeah,
it?
Survival basically did a map overhaul, introduced a freezing mechanic, hunger mechanic, and a new objective that's totally unrelated to anything else, but I can understand how Underground can be free DLC, but
They
it's
do
a little late now.
provide the new map, but like for now, I think it is worth the $15.
Oh, Zach, we haven't really talked about the other part you get with this DLC.
What are you talking about, Alex?
The incursion.
Ooh, the incursion.
We haven't done that yet, so we can't really say much.
we haven't really done it, so we can't really review it. So why don't you bring it up?
I don't know.
Did you just get horny?
I just...
I don't know. You just sound weird. Morty.
Marty, I'm horny. Just nuts are right up your butt.
Overall, Survival and the Underground are the best expansions you can get for your money for the Division. Please buy Survival and the Underground if you want to. Like, they're worth it.
Technically, you are saving money if you don't buy the season pass. Just buy the DLCs individually, because I believe the season pass is like $45. And
I wasn't planning to.
The 2 DLC on their own is $30. So basically, you're saving, $15.
$15, you say?
Yeah, I think so. That price may have changed. I'm not sure.
Ah. So
I think that's it.
I think that's all she wrote. Yeah, I think that's everything we want to talk about.
Any last words, Zach?
Like Austin always says, I'm gonna fuck your mothers.
Piano Child is the best child. Never forget the Piano Child. Oh, remember the piano. Never forget the Piano Child.
This
if
has
any
been.
of you want to see a sitcom based on our trio friendship, like and comment on this video, please.
How about no, you crazy Dutch furry bastard?